I love your outfit. Who picked this out? I like this.
I did.
You did? You look great.
The only thing, I thought the top matched the swoosh.
I love the swoosh. I love the golf. I love the vibe. What's it like to be the king in New Orleans this week? What's it like to be back?
It's always great to come back. When you spend 17 years somewhere, which is really longer, like throughout my lifetime, we moved a few times as a kid. I'm from Chicago, just like you. But 17 years, it's from the bellman you see, it's from the person on the street, the lady that's selling coffee. It's every individual you come across, there's like a connection. And so this will always be home.
I was going to say, it's almost like a weird question to ask you. It's not like you left, right? You still have a place here. You have big ties.
100%.
You're running around. You're wearing the ring. You're going to represent the city super well. Last time I saw you in person was obviously training camp with Bo. But here on the Super Bowl set, the Lombardi was here. We were talking about you wanting to fall in. It was a line. It went viral. You want to fall in love. You want to fall in love with the quarterback in the draft. You hadn't even started your draft process yet.
Right.
You have your guy. Insane rookie season. How would you describe where you two are in your love relationship right now?
Yeah, I would say in a great spot, and it's a credit to him. Here's one of the biggest challenges in our business is the narrative maybe of the scouting bus that's already begun, mock drafts and all of that, and so all of the things that you read or we read and heard about this player, so many of them were inaccurate. He wasn't going to be trade taken till this point. He only throws the underneath ball. I think he finished third in the NFL with 20-plus yard completions. He's extremely athletic. He's 6'2". So you have to have enough conviction to tune out the noise. And that was easier to do 20 years ago. But as soon as this internet came, and in a good way, in an entertaining way, along came with it, man, a lot of white noise. And so we felt real strong after his workout.
What was it? What was the one thing that you were like, yep?
Well, his arm strength was fantastic. He was the most accurate passer in the history of college football. He's
what a grown-up, too.
He's got, like, size 11 hands, so he's never fumbled at Oregon. He never fumbled, knock on wood, for us. He doesn't take sacks. I think he finished fifth. Guys that take sacks, or a lot of them, it's hard to overcome. That's like a penalty, loss of down. And players that take sacks in college generally take them in the NFL. So when we started looking at his negative play differential, it was first in the class. He was first in the class, third down. We took out all the short throws. First in the class, ended 2 minute. There were all these things pointing to this guy's going to be real successful. So we go for his pro day, and then the next day we have a private workout. And what we do with a private workout with all these guys, at 5 o'clock the day before, we email them 3 days of installation. So a lot of volume.
Insane. Okay, that's on book.
And then we're going to be there the next morning at 9 a.m. So it's consistent. They all get it at 5, and we're there at 9 a.m. And I'd never been to Oregon. And you can tell he'd been studying, and he's in the classroom, and there's a group of us firing questions, and he's hitting it, right? And you can tell he's been working at it. And so we're going to spend an hour and a half in this meeting, and then we're going to go throw. And I'm getting bored now, because he's getting all the answers right. And he's got a backpack sitting by the desk. And I'm like, what's in your backpack? And he pulls out his turf shoes. And then he pulls out his field or grass shoes. And I'm like, what else? And then he pulls out one of those little mini vibrators. And I'm like, what else? What else? And he everything, there wasn't a Tootsie Roll. There wasn't one vice.
No little vice, nothing.
Not a little.
No big league
tobacco.
chew, no nothing, no Zins.
And then I'm like, turned it upside down and shook it, and tape fell out. And I was like,
this is my guy.
this guy's Richie Cunningham.
This is when you fell in love.
No,
Richie
but it
Cunningham.
was, so then, we went on the field. We'd seen all the college film, Auburn.
Yeah.
You'd seen all the Oregon film. You break it up. And then we threw, and there's some things that you pay attention to. You know, the day before was the pro day for Oregon. So all the players were ready for the pro day. And here is the day after, and all of his team is there for this individual workout.
It matters. All these little things check the box. All these little things are
They check the
important
box.
too. Yeah.
And so we're watching the throws, and probably, you know, there's a point after the 28th, we're going to throw 70 balls, but I just remember turning to George saying, this is who we're taking.
It doesn't feel like the honeymoon phase is over. Like you two are just still in this, like you are proud of him for all of these things. Is there something that you cannot wait to work
his
on
growth,
with him going
like his
into
numbers,
Yeah.
his numbers in so many areas were so strong for a rookie that, like, his growth curve you'll see very quickly. I think the one surprise, because he didn't run at the combine or he didn't shuttle, he had a turf toe. And I couldn't figure out, like, why wouldn't this guy do that? Because on film he looks, but I would say he was much faster than even we expected, like, as a runner.
Faster.
And
Love
so,
that.
yeah, he can run. So the three of these quarterbacks we have Jared Stidham,
Of course.
Zach Wilson,
And they're all buddies.
and they all get along.
Yeah.
The wives get along. And so we were in Cabo a week ago, and McVay and his wife were there. We kind of have everyone over at the house. We had a McVay rule in Cabo. He couldn't talk to Bo Nix.
It makes sense. Separate rooms. No, cannot talk to each other.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know
But-
what that means.
Yeah, because I think that's where he. That's
The
where,
Cabo thing? I know.
Cabo thing.
I know.
All right. And then we went golfing the next day, the quarterbacks. And as much as I love these guys as quarterbacks, they are awful golfers. I'm like, I don't know who we're beating as a team collectively.
Luckily, that's not what you have to do. You
They
beat
don't
a lot
have
of
to do
teams.
that.
You beat a lot more teams this year as the Broncos than everyone thought, actually. You had a huge FU to anybody setting any prediction, any over-under madness, any bull.
Well,
you killed it,
we would
and I
pull up.
loved this FU for you.
Yeah, we would pull up occasionally in a meeting. Oh, there's like 28 outlets, and we'd just show them that. But there's something dangerous about a young team, because they are a little bit like they don't know what they don't know, and when I say a young talented team, especially with a chip on its shoulder.
Yeah.
And so certainly we played on that, and
Gosh, Coach, you seem really happy.
and we're
And
we're
that
going to be
face,
listen.
I know.
We're going to be a problem.
I know. You've been a problem to even the Chiefs that are in the Super Bowl. I do want to ask you, you're talking about the youth of the team. There's some really interesting, you fell in love with your quarterback, you got him. Now we got the
We
draft.
felt like we had a good rookie class.
The culture, everything that you've done in such short time, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like, now I want you to, I love Cortland. Great veteran, insane, amazing. I know you love him too. What are we looking to fall in love with here in the next couple of months? Are we going? Can I tell you what I think?
It's a fair question though, because we do the evaluation of our team.
Yeah.
And the purpose of that is then to establish what we call musts, needs, and wants.
Must, needs, wants. Okay.
So who are our musts?
Your must, you need a veteran wide receiver. That's what I think. I'd like to see you.
I would say we need a joker.
You need a Reggie Bush.
An interior, and a joker now can be a tight end or a running back that has exceptional. We were spoiled here.
Yeah.
When you think about it, all right, you had Reggie, you had Jimmy Graham, Jeremy Shockey, Darren Sproles, Alvin Kamara. Those are interior, either tight ends or running backs.
Jokers.
That they have to be elite receivers that play tight end or running back.
Got you.
And then you get the matchups, and we had quite a few of them here. because you're getting too high defense and you have to work the inside. And so I think.
Where does a veteran wide receiver go in which bucket?
I think a veteran wide receiver fits in a need, you know.
Not
and
a
yet,
must-have.
man, I would say we're stronger there than some would think.
Okay.
You know, a Devon Bailey, Troy Franklin. There's a number of receivers that we drafted a year ago. We'll look closely through the middle, inside linebacker, safety. There'll be a few other positions, but
So you're looking to fall in love with an inside guy. I thought you might want the Reggie Bush to sort of be the rug that ties the room together as well.
I'm all about that.
You're interested maybe in the draft?
Maybe.
That's sort of what I'm thinking, I'm hoping.
Because you have to also, in this equation, you have to say, all right, what's the draft look like? And then what's free agency look like? And try to figure out the puzzle as to where we find these pieces.
Right. Okay, love that. I wanted to get to one other. I know you have to go golf. Who are you golfing with, by the way?
Mickey Loomis.
You're just you and Mickey? No.
No, Mickey
Everybody?
Loomis, Michael Whalen. Benzel canceled on us.
Okay.
And so.
I have a couple quick hitters if you have time. Did you have to go? If you have to go, that's fine.
No,
you sure?
quick hitters, let's go.
Quick hitters. Okay, I wanted to first just show you. I think the control room has it. I want to show them the Mims play. I want to show you my favorite play call of the year. You ready?
Yeah.
It's week 18. Kansas City. Can we see it, please? It is the first, you dial up this, I brought this up to Mims. He, I tried to credit him for the acting job. He gave you all the credit. Talk me through this insane script.
Yeah, so I would say one player that we saw grow exponentially this year would be Marvin Mims. We saw him as a great returner a year ago, a Pro Bowl returner. And there was a series of games this year where this player as a receiver just got better and better and better. And so it's an early drive starter, a little play action. There's some yah-yah with this play, right? I mean, we're in the perfect city for this play. And and he's one of those elite players with the ball in his hands. So if he's an elite returner, let's create a return on offense.
I love that play. I loved everything you have coming your way. I want to ask you a little bit about the Chiefs. You have success against them. You know how to take them. You know how to game plan. What is it like? Do you believe in the Mahomes fourth quarter magic? Everybody's saying it comes down to the fourth quarter. What do you feel like in the fourth quarter with Mahomes out there?
Well, I think I think it's pretty simple. Confidence from a player is born out of demonstrated ability, and so Patrick has done that, and he's done it again. And he's done it again. And so there's a confidence then internally with the player, but more importantly with his teammates. Mm-hmm. And so we've seen it historically with Montana. We've seen it with Brady. We've seen it with some of these elite players who late in the game expect it because it's happened.
It's all here.
And so you can't fake confidence. You can't say, hey, I want to be confident. You have had to have demonstrated that I've done this in this moment and I can do this again. And so when you go into playing a player like that, it's everything to make sure he doesn't have the ball last. Because you know when you play a team like that, you're going to have to score points. 2 weeks later, you might play a team and feel real comfortable punting late in the game.
Can't with
playing
him.
Defense. I don't think
you have to adjust everything to him.
Yeah, well, it just changes your mindset. And we were fortunate. We had a game this past year with a field goal block that was devastating.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
But they weren't going to have the ball last.
Sean's head when it's close there with him. And
well,
because you're just as confident. You've also done it.
No, that's right. But when that game ended, it was a loss. But anyone that was at that game saw how that game unfolded and saw how Knicks played. And I remember the Wednesday our team came back, I put a clip together of my 5 most difficult losses. And
Of your life? What do you mean?
Yeah. The 5 most difficult losses. We were at Indiana State. We lost a close game. The no call by far. All right, crazy, right? But I told him, I said, look, I don't have enough time in this meeting to put on tape the great wins. And so throughout your time as a player, you're going to have to get back up off the mat. And hopefully when your career's over with, your great wins that reel's going to be a lot longer than your difficult losses. This is part of the deal. This is what we signed up for.
Unbelievable. What do you think what does it come down to before we let you go? What does it come down to this game?
I think there's a significant edge in the kicking game for Kansas City. And I said it 2 years ago with Fox.
This is why I love you. You're so crazy.
No,
really?
Well, Tobe's one of the better special teams coordinators. And it's not a sexy storyline. And so when I said it on Fox 2 years ago, here it is, fourth quarter, and there goes Tony with a 41-yard punt return that set up the leading score. So I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think we got 2 of the better defenses playing. I think we got 2 of the better defensive coordinators coaching in Spagnuolo and Fangio. And so I'm not allowed to talk about over and unders and all that kind of stuff. But just pay attention.
You can talk about those Spags blitzes, though, and what,
you know, so I think it's going to be a lower scoring game.
Okay.
And I think the margin, I do think this Philadelphia team is better than the Philadelphia team they played 2 years ago in the Super Bowl. This is a better Philadelphia team, and I think the kicking game can be significant.
And if you gave me like 1 or 2 sentences on what you think about the narrative that Patrick gets all the calls.
I don't think that's a narrative we're frustrated with. The narrative our league's frustrated with is, has the officiating kept up with the pace of play?
It's a great point.
In other words, man, this game's faster. It's quicker. It's difficult to officiate. And so I don't subscribe to that at all. I think they've earned everything they've gotten. Last night we had dinner, and man, when you see the Chiefs receivers were at dinner at Desi Vega Steakhouse. And I was jealous for them. I went over, we chatted, we laughed, what have you, and I thought, man, you know how exciting it is to be at a position dinner. And I kind of was paying attention to, you know, they were just eating, you know, they had practice today. And I thought, I need to buy them this dinner. So I said, you know, Andy should have given you his credit card when our players went out.
Are you kidding?
Well, our players went out to eat in Miami. And I remember giving Breeze the credit card, and I said, don't do too much damage. And he stopped at $10,000.
Okay.
And so I had to peek over. It was just the receivers, and I know Desi Vega really well.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I bought the receivers dinner.
You bought them dinner?
The Chiefs receivers.
How many receivers?
There's, I think, 8.
What was the bill?
It wasn't bad,
$1,900.
$1,900.
You
Including
bought
mine.
the Chiefs receivers dinner.
Yeah.
And that is a perfect way to end our talk.
Kill them with kindness.
With Coach of the Year nominee, well-deserved, should have. I know that's not your goal. Your goal is another one of these, and it's coming your way to a Denver Broncos team. You're your coach. Thanks for taking the time.
Absolutely.
Go give them